What is up, world? Hello, everybody, and happy Tuesday. We're going to talk about some vibrational badassery today, resonance, and I'm really excited to share these downloads with you. So, if you are watching this as the replay, while we wait for some people to join us, let me know you were here. Throw up the hashtag replay. Be seen, be heard, be active, say hello. And for those of you that are tuning in live, also say hello, right? Be seen, be heard, be active. Who wants it, right? Who's ready is welcome. If you're new to me, I'm Lindsay Carricarte-Jones, and I'm a quantum soul evolution and vibrational conditioning coach. And hey, Jess, hey, Kay, thank you guys for being here. Welcome. So we're going to chat about what resonance is. And this is a really, really crucial topic for everything. This is so relevant to what is going on in the world. So what I would love to know and hear from you all is, have you ever found yourself caught between what you know and what something you're being told? Like, can you remember a time in your life where someone was maybe telling you something and in your gut you're like, this mofo is lying to me, this is not true? Or your gut was saying like, this is not safe, right? But your mind or your friend or somebody outside of you was like, no, it's fine, right? Give me a yes down in the comments if you have ever found yourself experiencing that type of dynamic, right? Where you're feeling something internally and you choose to, you ignore what you're feeling in favor of either what your mind is telling you or what somebody else is telling you. Has anybody ever felt that? Because that's a huge thing, especially for those of us that are, right? If you are a starseed, if you are an empath, if you are a light worker, a wayshower, if you are any of these high vibrational, highly sensitive beings, right? You're most likely going to resonate with that. Jess, yes, boom, of course, right? I would hope that resonates with you, being that we get to work together, right? Let's hope you're resonating. So, have you ever wondered why we say, oh, that really resonates with me? Yeah, that resonates with me, right? Have you ever found yourself saying, yes, that resonates when somebody asks you something, if you like I'm doing it right now, right? Like, does that resonate? Does that land? What I'm encouraging you to do when I say, does that resonate or does that land, is I'm encouraging you to feel into your body and reflect on, how does that feel, right? And when I say, how does that feel, I mean, does it feel like truth? Does it expand you? Does it feel good in your body, or does it contract you, right? Because let's talk a little bit about what the opposite of resonance is. The opposite of resonance is like that contraction. It's like that knot in the stomach, right? It's that feeling internally that's like, oh, hell no, or it's fear, or it's like a push away, right? It literally wants you to move away, or it feels like a contraction and a pulling in. It feels defensive, right? That's the opposite of resonance. So every single one of us, we are energetic beings, right? Every single one of us has an energetic light body around our physical body. And that energetic light body is full of energy and electricity and light and all the stuff that we can't see, right? And it's that part of us that's constantly feeling and assessing. And this is also going to vary a little bit based on things like your human design, right? We have different energy centers that we can use. Our aura, right, helps us feel into what's going on in the world. And what happens is that is our most powerful guidance system, right? So if you're walking down the street and you're like, okay, do I need to go right or left? And everything in your body is like, go left. But your friend is over here and she's like, no, we have to go right. We have to go right because I read in a book that going right is the faster way. Somebody told me going right is the faster way. It's going to get us there faster. We have to go right. But in your gut, it's like, go left, right? Your body's like, go left. Your body's like, go left. And maybe you don't know why. There's no logical reason why you feel like you need to go left, but you just do. Maybe you go right and maybe something crappy happens. Maybe there's a delay. Maybe there's a pothole, right? Maybe you get a flat tire. Maybe nothing happens, but maybe by not going left and listening to your resonance, you missed out on meeting someone or crossing paths with something or having an experience that was over there that was meant for you, right? So this beautiful resonance we have, it is our natural guidance system. It is our natural leader, our natural soul pull towards what is correct and true for us at any time. Now, this is going to change based on our own internal frequency at any given time. This is why you can be right next to someone, you can both hear the same piece of information, and it resonates for you and doesn't resonate for them. Have you ever had that happen? And then you're like, okay, well, it resonates for me. My question for you is, if you relate with that happening, do you allow yourself to be in your own resonance and in your own truth and stay aligned with what that truth is? Or do you then calibrate to that other person's resonance who may be operating from a different frequency, a lower frequency? Like if they're in fear and you've just heard something empowering, they're probably going to be like, that doesn't resonate with me. And you're going to be like, oh my God, that resonates with me. Right? Yep. You guys are feeling this. Good. Who else? Are you feeling this? Right? Do you know that you do this? Empaths. I see you, empaths. I know I know what you all do, right? Because I used to be that way, right? Empaths, we can feel everybody else. So what do? We constantly calibrate to everybody else, right? Because that's what we're conditioned to do, even when it goes against our resonance. And then we find ourselves in these loops of, oh, I should have known better. I knew better. I didn't listen. So let's talk about why we do this. Does anybody want to hazard a guess as to why we choose to ignore our resonance? Why, when we have this powerful, potent guidance system called our resonance, our soul GPS, our own energy, why do we choose to ignore it? Anybody want to guess? Why would we choose to ignore that? I'll tell you. It is because we have been conditioned, right? It is because all through our lives, right? Have you all heard the term gaslighting? Is everybody familiar with that term? It's like that thing that narcissists do where they tell you, that what you're feeling isn't true or accurate, or they kind of like twist the experiencing you're having so that it serves whatever it is they're trying to do, right? Like you said, conditioning. Yes. So this whole idea of gaslighting, right? The reason it triggers us so much, if you've ever been gaslit, anybody ever been gaslit? I had a boss who used to gaslight me, and it used to fucking trigger the shit out of me. And this was before I came to understand myself as an empath, before I really cleared and alchemized and transmuted a lot of my emotional patterns, right? It's before I did all of the deconditioning work that I do, that I do now with clients, before I did it all on myself. I had this boss, he was gaslighting me, and it used to trigger the shit out of me. At the time, I didn't understand why it was triggering me. In hindsight, now I understand it's because he was mirroring something for me, right? He was mirroring an experience that had been happening to me all through my life. That's why it triggers us, right? Because over and over and over again, from the time we're little children, we get born, we're sensitive, we're starseeds, we're empaths, we're here to bring about a new way. We're feeling everything. And Jess, yeah, me too, because I'm a projector as well, right? And that's why you're working with me, right? Because we're going to get you into that vibrational badass projectorness where you're standing in that power, right? So there we are as little children, and we're getting conditioned, right? And we feel something, we see something, maybe we see auras, maybe we see colors, maybe we can feel the emotions of a room. And what happens? We get told, no, there's nothing wrong, right? We can tell our mom is freaking out. We can tell our dad is stressed out. We can tell that something is not being said. We can tell that something is wrong. There's all this like dysfunction and craziness. And in our gut, in our heart, we know that something's off. And what happens? What happens from our parents? We get told nothing's wrong. There's nothing to be worried about. There's nothing to cry about. We just basically start getting made wrong for our feelings and our emotions over and over and over and over again. Our emotions are nothing more than energetic frequencies that are showing us how in resonance we are. The more in resonance we are, the better feeling emotions we're going to feel. The less in resonance we are, the worse those emotions are going to be, right? But when we're being conditioned to ignore that and suppress that and forget about what we feel in favor of what? What do we get taught to doubt our resonance in favor of? Anybody want to throw a guess down on that? What do we get taught to doubt our resonance in favor of? I'll tell you guys, because I know there's a big lag, right? So it's like kind of hard to wait, because then we go somewhere else. And we get taught to dismiss our resonance in favor of experts, people who know better. Who knows better when we're a child, right? Our parents. Do our parents always necessarily know better? Fuck no, right? Talking about our parents back in the 80s who were like letting us drink beer in wine coolers and like we were never supervised. I mean, I love my parents. I had a great childhood. Yes, some dysfunction, but also great. I know my parents loved me and did the best that they could. But let's be real, right? For those of you that are parents yourselves, do you always know what's best, or do you just think you know what's best, or you're trying to convince yourself you know what's best because you really don't know and you're afraid, right? So here we are going through life right now. And right now we are in a massive up level, a massive shift, and a massive evolution. And you are seeing people freak out when other people choose to listen to their resonance instead of listening to who? The experts, right? I don't know about you all, but the experts have lost any and all accountability and respect from me. Right? Because the constant pandering and switching gears and contradictory information, I don't have fucking time for that shit. Right? As soon as all this started, something in my gut was like, something is wrong here. Something is off with all of this. We are not being told the truth. Right? And in my gut, I knew we were not being told the truth. So therefore, for the last 6 months, I've gone into this whole thing, eyes open, taking everything with a grain of salt, wading through it all, and feeling my way through it. Not what this person says or what that person says, right? Like, I'm sorry. I don't need somebody else to tell me what's best for my health and wellness. My body knows what's best for my health and wellness. And this is the beautiful thing. When you are in your own resonance, you know what you need to eat. You know when you need to sleep. You know what action you need to take. You know where you need to go. You know what decision is right for you. Right? Just exactly. People rely on doctors and specialists and experts instead of understanding that we are the experts of ourselves. Yes, right? It's not to say we never go and see a professional or somebody to help us, right? Like if we need the help and the guidance or we need medication, it's not to say we don't go see those people, but even that, right? It needs to be a choice from resonance. Is this the right person to help me with this? Choosing a coach, choosing a guide, choosing a yoga teacher, choosing your meal. Is this in alignment for me? Your resonance is going to tell you, right? And when you make decisions based on your mind or what somebody else is telling you, you're moving further and further away from that resonance, right? All because of that conditioning. So how do we get back to listening to our resonance is the power question, right? That, my friends, is the process, right? That is the work. The how is deconditioning, right? It's stripping away all of those fixed beliefs and ideas that kind of had you thinking you have to listen to this person or this person knows better, ignoring your resonance. Right? And the more you start conditioning yourself to tap into, to tune in and to listen to your resonance, the more everything will open up for you, right? I'm telling you, this is a huge piece of how and why, despite everything that is going on in the world, despite everything that has happened in my personal life, the last 6 months have been the best, most empowering, most abundant, most free months of my life. How could I be the most abundant and most free when we are in a global meltdown, a global lockdown, a pandemic, riots, right? Oh, I'm sorry, peaceful protesters, right? Riots, chaos, people freaking out. Right now, right, if you look around the world, people are having one of two experiences. People are either in fear and shut down and combative and defensive, or people are tuning into their resonance and they're following their resonance to continue expanding into their highest timeline self. So how do we do that? It's called conditioning, right? It is all conditioning, deep vibrational conditioning, just like tuning into a radio station, right? But yes, take whatever you want into consideration. I'm not here to tell anybody who's right, who's wrong, right? You could go out and find 10 experts right now that all contradict each other. So what are we supposed to do with that? what we do with that is we tune in and we say, okay, I see this person's point. Does that feel accurate for me? Does that feel valid for me? Does that feel like truth for me? And then you follow the things that feel accurate and truthful for you. Those are going to change based on what your frequency is at and where your frequency is at in any given moment, right? This is the beautiful subjective nature of reality. And so if you are wanting to really get in there and immerse yourself into that deconditioning work, right? Learning how to condition your vibration and your frequency to those higher planes, those higher timelines, right? If you want to be so anchored in to your soul truth and your resonance that it doesn't matter who is telling you to go right when you know left is the way to go. Like, because tell me something, right? Isn't it exhausting to constantly know you need to go left but get pulled to the right based on what other people think? I mean, isn't that shit exhausting? It was for me, right? That was a really painful way to live. And so if you are resonating with that, if that lands for you and you want to be free of that because you are ready to be so anchored in what you know is your truth, in your soul resonance, in your soul frequency, and following that and learning how to be guided by that, then this is for you. I am speaking to you right now. And that is where I would love to invite you to come and chat with me and let's discuss how I can help you with this, right? Vibrational Badass is coming up. I've got a couple of private sessions open for August. So many ways that we can work together and co-create together, and for me to help guide you in this process of vibrational conditioning, right? But it has to be a choice on your end. You have to feel like it's a fuck yes. It has to feel like it's a fuck yes in your body. Your resonance has to be saying yes, because I'm going to tell you right now, the way that we're shifting into, we're moving out of the world of like, oh, I want to do something, but I'm going to wait here till somebody comes along and convinces me to do it. No, right? We're being called forward into our highest timeline selves, to feel into our hearts, to feel our way into what we want to experience, and then decide to move forward and let yourself be supported in that, right? That is the world that we're creating. That is who I'm speaking to. So if that is you and you want to jump and you want to leap and you are ready to move forward, drop a heart below. I'll send you a message. We'll chat a little bit. Reach out to me, PM me, whatever it is. You know where to find me. It's time, y'all. It is time. If you're being driven crazy by the misinformation and the contradictory stuff, it's because you're being called to anchor into your resonance. You're being called to your higher truth, your soul purpose. And that is what I'm here to, that's the world that I'm here to create. So I love you all. Go forth, be wildly you, have it all, and reach out if it resonates with you and you feel that I can help guide you. Bye, everyone.